Yeah. Friday night, neon buzzing on the wall, boots on the floor, old jukebox down the hall. He walked in quiet and tried to disappear, just another face in a room full of cheer. He found a corner underneath the fan, ordered one beer with a shaking hand. Nobody knew his name, nobody knew his story. He wasn't looking for a little bit of glory. The bartender said, "You new around here?" He smiled and said, "Yeah, just passing through, I guess." And the guitar player broke a string and somebody shouted, "Hey, that's what he said." He looked around like they were talking to somebody else, but the whole room pointed right at him. He took that old six-string the wall, and suddenly the night was about to begin. Friday night, everybody's somebody, everybody's got a story to tell. You can walk in feeling like nobody, walk out knowing you belong somewhere. Raise your glass, let the whole town hear it, sing it loud till the windows shake. Friday night, everybody's somebody, and tonight nobody's walking away. His first chord rang a little out of tune, but nobody cared by the second room. He sang about a highway, a lost old friend, a little front porch, and a summer that wouldn't end. By the second verse, they were leaning in. By the chorus, somebody started singing. The bartender stopped, wiping down the bar. The old man in the corner pulled his chair up close. Then a girl he never met before started singing every word back at him. He smiled for the first time that night, like maybe this was where a story could begin. He wasn't the best voice they'd ever heard. He wasn't trying to be a star, but every honest word he sang made everybody forget where they were. Friday night, everybody's somebody, everybody's got a story to tell. You can walk in feeling like nobody, walk out knowing you belong somewhere. Raise your glass, let the whole town hear it, sing it loud till the windows shake. Friday night, everybody's somebody, and tonight nobody's walking away. Hey. Whoa, yeah, everybody's somebody tonight. Come on, sing it like you mean it. Hey. When the last chord finally faded away, nobody moved, nobody had much to say. Then one table started pounding on the wood, and the whole damn bar understood. He stepped off stage with a different kind of grin. The girl with the song said, "You ought to do that again." The bartender slid another cold one down and said, "Looks like you just found your town." Outside, the neon painted gold on the street, someone said, "Same time next Friday we'll meet." He looked back through the window and saw 100 strangers who didn't feel like strangers anymore. Maybe dreams don't always come knocking, and maybe sometimes they wait behind the barroom door. Maybe the life you've been afraid of living is waiting for you to step onto the floor. You don't need a famous name, you don't need a perfect song. Sometimes all it takes is one brave night to find out where you belong. Friday night, everybody's somebody, everybody's got a story to tell. till you can walk in feeling like nobody. Walk out knowing you belong somewhere. Raise your glass, let the whole town hear it. Sing it loud till the windows shake. Friday night, everybody's somebody. And tonight, nobody's walking away. Friday night, everybody's somebody. Everybody's got a dream inside. You might walk in scared and lonely, but you won't leave that way tonight. Friday night, everybody's somebody. Everybody, somebody. And tonight, we all belong. Friday night, everybody's somebody. Friday night, everybody's somebody. And tonight, we all belong. Come on. Well, the band was loud, the lights were low. Friday night at the county show. Grandma said, don't start no trouble tonight. Grandpa just laughed and said, I'll be alright. He had his boots and his old blue jeans. 70-something, feeling 17. The grandkids lined up for the family dance. Grandpa looked over and said, they've been practicing all week long, counting every step to their favorite song. Little granddaughter said, Grandpa, stay in line. He said, honey, I've been dancing since '59. He grabbed his hat, tipped it to the crowd, walked to the floor, and the room got loud. His grandson said, are you sure you can do this? Grandpa winked and said, boy, you don't want to miss this. Then the fiddle started crying, and the kick drum hit the floor. Grandpa spun around laughing, and everybody yelled for more. Grandpa's got one more dance, one more spin, one more chance. He may move a little slower, but he still got fire in his hands. Everybody stomp your boots, everybody clap along. When Grandpa hits that old two-step, you better sing this song. Grandpa's got one more dance. Give that old man one more chance. He shuffled left, then he stepped back right. Grandma was laughing under the neon light. The grandkids tried to follow every move, but Grandpa had a rhythm they could never improve. He dipped his hat, then he turned around. The whole place nearly shook the ground. His grandson jumped in, then his sister too. Pretty soon the whole family knew what to do. The bartender stopped pouring, the waitress dropped her tray. Every stranger in the building was dancing anyway. Grandpa's got one more dance, one more spin, one more chance. Hey, he may move a little slower, but he still got fire in his hands. Everybody stomp your boots, everybody clap along. When Grandpa hits that old two-step, you better sing this song. Grandpa's got one more dance. Give that old man one more chance. Then the music slowed down. Grandpa took a breath, looked at all his children and his grandchildren next. He said, you don't count the birthdays, you count the nights you had, the people that you loved, and the good times that you had. Then Grandma reached for his hand, just like she did back then. He smiled girl, I'd do it. One more, one more, one more dance. Grandpa's got one more dance, one more spin, one more chance. And the whole room's moving with him like we're young again tonight. Everybody stomp your boots, hey. Everybody clap along when Grandpa hits that old two-step. Everybody sing along, hey. Hey, hey. Grandpa's got one more dance, hey, hey. Raise your hands and take a chance, hey. Grandpa's got one more dance, hey. That's how memories are made, hey. Grandpa's got one more dance, woo. One more spin, one more chance. He may move a little slow, but he's still got fire in his hands. He's still got fire in his hands. One more dance, one more dance, one more dance, hey. One more dance, one more dance. Grandpa tipped his hat, Grandma pulled him near, and the whole family danced like nobody was counting years. We had a grill, a cooler, a couple of chairs, 3 good friends and a little smoke in the air. Somebody said, man, we ought to keep it small. Yeah, that's the funniest thing we said all night at all. Jake brought burgers, Tommy brought beer, Sarah showed up with a speaker and a smile from ear to ear. Then Tommy said, I know a guy, he's just down the street. 5 minutes later, there were 6 more people eating. Someone brought a cousin, someone brought a friend, someone caught somebody we hadn't seen since way back when. The driveway filled up, then the sidewalk too. And nobody had a clue what this little thing would turn into. The sun went down, but nobody left. The old porch light started shining like a neon sign. We kept saying, one more song, one more round, while the whole backyard was shaking with the sound. It was a little more than we planned, a little more smoke, a little more band, a little more dancing than the neighbors could stand, a little more love than we had in our hands. 1 grill, 2 coolers, 25 friends, and somebody showed up with another 10. We thought we'd call it a night around 10, but it turned into a memory we'd never forget. A little more than we planned, a whole lot more than we ever dreamed. Yeah, sometimes the best nights in this life are the ones that get away from the plan. There was a guy playing guitar by the garden gate, a girl barefoot dancing like she just couldn't wait. Grandpa found a chair and started keeping the beat. Kids were running circles through the grass in bare feet. Somebody brought pie, somebody brought beans, somebody brought a cooler bigger than we'd ever seen. The neighbors came laughing, what in the world is going on? Then they stayed for 3 hours and helped us sing along. By midnight there were headlights rolling down the road. Every new arrival had another story to unfold. Nobody knew who invited who anymore, but there was always room for one more. The moon came up, the speakers got loud, somebody started clapping and gathered up the crowd. And when that old guitar hit the open ones that get away from the plan. Hey, hey! Who brought the extra chairs? We did! Who brought the speakers? We did! We did! Who said this party would be small? Not. Then who's staying till the morning light? All of us. One more song! One more song! One more round! One more round! If you got a good friend, bring them around! Bring them around! It was a little more than we planned. A little more smoke, a little more pain. A little more dancing than the neighbors could stand. A little more love than we had in our hands. One grill, two coolers, 25 friends, and somebody showed up with another 10. We thought we'd call it a night around 10, but it turned into a memory we never forget. A little more than we planned, a whole lot more than we ever dreamed. Yeah, sometimes the best nights in this life are the ones that get away from the plan. A little more than we planned. A little more than we planned. A little more than we dreamed. One backyard, one crazy night, and everybody singing. So if you invite me over, don't tell me it'll be small. 'Cause somebody's gonna call somebody, and somebody's gonna call. We'll fire up that grill, turn that old guitar loud, and before you know it, there's a whole damn town in your backyard. There's a whole damn town in your backyard. She found it leaning in the corner under her handwritten sign. $20, maybe less, and a little dust from another town. One string was missing, the wood was cracked and worn, but she saw something in that old guitar that nobody else had seen before.
She took it home in the backseat, like she was carrying something alive. Set it down beside her window, started bringing it back to life.
She sanded down the scratches, put new strings across the neck.
Learned 3 chords on a Tuesday, and couldn't wait to learn the next.
She didn't know the name of the hands that held it first,
Didn't know the songs it played,
or the stories that it heard. But underneath the faded finish,
there were initials carved in time,
and every little mark she found made her wonder who had called it mine. She bought a broken guitar, but she got more than wooden strings.
she found 100 old memories hiding underneath the scratches and the rings.
Every scar had a story,
Every note had something to say,
she thought she was bringing that guitar back,
but it was bringing her to life that way.
she bought a broken guitar
And found a piece of yesterday.
There was a name inside the sound hole, written faintly in blue, a date from 30 years ago, in a town she never knew.
She searched through an old photograph at the library downtown, found a picture of a young man with that same guitar hanging around.
He played it at a little bar on Friday nights back then,
And passed it to his brother when he left to join the band.
his brother taught his daughter how to play those 6 old strings, and somewhere down the years it became a box of forgotten things. till somebody put a price tag
on a lifetime no one knew.
and somehow that old guitar
Found its way to someone new. She bought a broken guitar, but she got more than wooden strings. She found 100 old memories hiding underneath the scratches and the rings.
Every scar had a story,
Every note had something to say.
she thought she was bringing that guitar back,
But it was bringing her to life that way.
she bought a broken guitar.
And found a piece of yesterday.
Now she plays it on the front porch when the evening settles in. Sometimes neighbors stop and listen, sometimes old friends wander in.
She learned all those forgotten songs one by one, just like the names. And every time she plays that guitar, she keeps another story from fading away.
There's a new scratch by the bridge now, and her initials by the door.
She laughed when she first saw it, and she carved a little more.
Because someday somebody else
Might find it in a store,
and wonder who this guitar belonged to.
and what those scratches were for.
Maybe that's what old things do.
They carry us when we don't know where we're going,
They hold the hands of those before us,
and leave a little room for someone coming.
so she doesn't mind the broken places.
She doesn't try to hide the scars
Some things become more beautiful
after they've been played a little hard. She bought a broken guitar, she got more than wooden strings. She found 100 old memories hiding underneath the scratches and the rings.
Every scar had a story,
Every note had something to say.
she thought she was bringing that guitar back,
But it was bringing her to life that way.
she bought a broken guitar
Oh,
and found a piece of yesterday.
oh, she bought a broken guitar.
And now everybody knows her song,
From the girl who found it yesterday.
to the hands that held it all along.
Oh, every star had a story.
Every note had something to say,
She thought she was bringing that guitar back
but it was bringing her to life.
that way.
She bought a broken guitar.
She bought a broken guitar.
She bought a broken guitar.
Found a piece of yesterday.
Yeah,
Some old things ain't broken,
they're just waiting for somebody
to play them again.
Rain on the tin roof, thunder in the sky, lightning flashing like it's 4th of July. Somebody yell, boys, we might have to close. But nobody moved when the cold wind blew. Gates open at 5. By 6 o'clock the whole place came alive. Then the clouds rolled in from across the county line, black as coal and twice as wide. The announcer said we might call it off. scared this town. So they pulled the speakers under and waited it out. The arena turned to a river, the parking lot turned into mud. But every single person stayed like they knew something good was coming up. Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. Boots got muddy, but we let it roll. Thunder in the distance, lights down low. Everybody yelling, let the good times go. Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. We came for the ride and we stayed for the show. If the sky wants to pour, let it pour some more. Cause this is the best damn rodeo we ever known. Hey! They put some plywood down by the gate, moved the barbecue under a trailer on it. Somebody passed around a jug of sweet tea. Somebody else started a song on a 6-string. The bull riders laughed at the weather. The cowboys danced just to dry their jeans. Kids were sliding through the mud like a playground, and nobody cared about getting clean. Then the rain started coming sideways, but the crowd just raised their hands. And when that first guitar started ringing, everybody knew the night had just begun. Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. Boots got muddy, but we let it roll. Thunder in the distance, lights down low. Everybody yelling, let the good times go. Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. We came for the ride and we stayed for the show. If the sky wants to pour, let it pour some more. Cause this is the best damn rodeo we ever know. Yeah, the announcer grabbed the microphone, said, well folks, we're already soaked. The crowd shouted back, turn it up, and the whole grandstand started shaking. One more ride, one more song, one more night. The rain came down, we stayed right here, and somehow the wildest night was the one we almost feared. Everybody yelling, let the good times go. Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. We came for the ride and we stayed for the show. If the sky wants to pour, let it pour some more. Cause this is the best damn rodeo we've ever known. Hey! Hey! Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. Hey! Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. Rain couldn't stop the rodeo. Boots got muddy, hearts got wild. Again, rain couldn't stop the rodeo. No sir, it never had a chance. The next morning, the sun came out, mud on the boots and stories to tell. Nobody remembered the storm itself. Just how damn good that night went. We wrote it down on a Friday night, half a tank in the porch light. 10 dumb dreams and a little more beer. They said if we don't do it now, we'll do it next year. First First one said, let's jump that fence. Second one laughed, that don't make no sense. We found an old boat out behind the barn, took it to the river, didn't get too far. We tried to catch a fish with a broken down pole, tried singing karaoke and lost all control. Took a picture standing on a county line like we were famous for wasting time. We kept saying we're getting too old, like 25 was the end of the road. But every time somebody said, why not, we found another crazy thing to cross off. We were young enough to try, dumb enough to say, why not tonight? We didn't know where we'd end up, we just knew we had enough. Waiting on the perfect time, so we chased those little dreams down every county line. And looking back, I realized we weren't young enough to know we couldn't fly. We were just young enough to try. Oh, yeah. We drove 3 hours for a roadside pie, got lost twice underneath the same blue sky. One of us danced on a motel sign, one broke a guitar string at 9:30. We stayed up talking till the morning came, told old stories and forgot our names. We watched the sunrise from the hood of a car and swore we'd never let life get too far. Somebody said, what happens when we're older and we can't do this again? We laughed and said, we'll find a way, 'cause getting older ain't the same as changing your heart someday. We kept saying we're getting too old, like every dream had an expiration code. But every time somebody said, let's go, we found another road we didn't know. We were young enough to try, dumb enough to say, why not tonight? We didn't know where we'd end up, we just knew we had enough. Waiting on the perfect time, so we chased those little dreams down every county line. And looking back, I realized we weren't young enough to know we couldn't fly. We were just young enough to try. Now the years have put some gray into our hair, got a few more miles and a few more cares, but there's still a list hanging on my wall, and half of those dreams ain't happened at all. So call your friends, fill up the tank, take that old boat out to the lake, buy that guitar, learn that song, take the long way when the short way's wrong. 'Cause maybe the secret we missed back then wasn't being young, it was beginning again. Ain't no age on a good idea, ain't no clock saying your chance is here. If you got a little fire left inside, you ain't too old to give it a try. We were young enough to try, dumb enough to say, why not tonight? We didn't know where we'd end up, we just knew we had enough. Waiting on the perfect time, so we chased those little dreams down every county line. And looking back, I realize you don't need to be young to feel alive, you just need to be brave enough to try. We were young enough to try. Come on, raise your hands up high. We didn't know where we'd end up, we just knew we had enough. Waiting on the perfect time, there's still a little crazy left in all our lives. And looking back, I realize the best part wasn't being young that night, it was being brave enough to try. So here's to every dream still waiting in the wings, here's to every road and every song we sing. Maybe we're older, but we're still young enough to try.